From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Do I stay or do I go? Is it health or a paycheck? Life or death? It is. It's life or death.
A local school employee who got COVID-19 in early March and has since recovered has resigned from her school district. The reason, she says, she felt forced out. A new kind of COVID-19 testing for those in Indiana nursing homes, but it's not a perfect test. We show you what is being done to better protect the most vulnerable Hoosiers.
The virus took, the complete worst turn for him, but he's fought through it.
5 months in the hospital, 115 days on a ventilator, and a local man beat COVID-19 and is back home. We talked to him about his experience and what he wants you to know.
And what a change. Yesterday we had highs around 80 degrees. Tonight some areas could have some patchy frost. I'll let you know how just chilly it's going to be to start off the weekend.
Happy Friday to you, and thanks for watching the news at 6 on WRTV. I'm Amanda Starrentino. First tonight, at least 6 teachers across the country have died with the coronavirus since the school year began. A Lawrence Township school employee says she felt she was forced to resign because the district would not make accommodations over her COVID concerns. She speaks exclusively with WRTV's Stephanie Wade because she fears others are going through the same thing but are afraid to speak up.
Camille Walker was one of the first staff members to test positive for the coronavirus within the Lawrence Township School District back in March, immediately after schools shut down. Now, already having been exposed to the virus, plus being the primary caregiver for her father with stage 4 cancer, she requested to work from home, but was denied.
I want to work. I do. I want to work. I need to work to be able to provide for my 4 children and my husband and my household. Like, we need this. We are now without health insurance in the worst possible case.
As a classroom assistant at Mary Castle ELC, Camille Freeman Walker supports the lead teacher and works more closely one-on-one with students who need the extra attention.
I work a lot with students who have behavior and IEPs and things who need additional help with social emotional behaviors.
2 weeks after schools shut down on March 13th, she tested positive for the coronavirus.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I still have pains. I still have difficulty breathing. You guys doing okay? Mm-hmm.
So given the choice of virtual learning for her 4 children, who also attend schools within the district, when they returned this fall, she decided to keep them home.
We knew that would be the best thing for our family, to keep them safe. Look at you counting.
But that didn't mean she could also work from home. She requested to work virtually, but was denied by the school. She then tried going through FMLA, but that was unsuccessful. The district telling her the only way she could keep her job was if she worked in person, and that no other telework was available at this time, leaving her with the gut-wrenching decision to resign. A product of Lawrence Township Schools herself.
It has always been the purpose of going back to my community and giving back to the community that put so much into me. That's what I wanted to do. But now I was faced with a position to where it was my health and my children and my family's safety or insurance.
Now unemployed, she's hoping by telling her story, schools will see this and choose to be more accommodating.
I know there are others out there that are struggling, that are faced with these similar decisions.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
A district spokesperson tells WRTV, quote, while we cannot speak to individual personnel matters, the Human Resources Department is pleased to have been able to accommodate those who have reached out to their supervisors about individual circumstances impacting their professional responsibilities. Accommodations may vary and may include medical leave or possible alternative assignment. Given the scope of positions within the district, not all are eligible for remote work, end quote. It is a beautiful Friday evening. Great weather for some football, although it feels a bit more like fall today than summer. Meteorologist Kyle Mounts shows us how to prepare for the start of the weekend. I think a lot of people going out to those football games are going to need some jackets.
Yeah, going to need a layer or two here, maybe a blanket, sweatshirt, something like that as you head out. Yeah, it feels like fall, but fall officially arrives next week on Tuesday. The temperatures are just running a little ahead of that schedule. Right now, we're at 66 in Indianapolis, close to 70 in Bloomington, while you got 66 in Muncie and Lafayette at 67 degrees. Tonight, it is going to be very chilly. In fact, we do have a frost advisory from around Monticello, Peru, Marion, Hartford City, and areas to the north. That's where we may see some more widespread middle to upper 30s, forecasting a low of 38 in Peru, 39 in Lafayette and Muncie, and will be in the lower 40s in Indianapolis and areas to the south. But that football forecast this evening, there's some chilly air in there too with those clear skies. We are in the middle 50s by 9 o'clock.
Hundreds of nursing homes throughout the state are receiving antigen testing machines from the federal government. The goal is to get quick results and stop the spread of COVID-19 in long-term care facilities. But WRTV Investigates has learned the machines are not exactly a magic bullet. Our Kara Kenny joins us now with what is being done to better protect residents and workers.
These are some of the lives lost to COVID-19 in Indiana nursing homes in May. Charles England, Martha McCullough, and Everett Brown. 60% of the deaths in Indiana have been nursing home residents and staff. The federal government is looking to stop the spread of COVID-19 and increase testing at nursing homes. This is a new antigen testing machine at Otterbein, a facility that's lost 20 residents to COVID-19. Because of visitor restrictions, our cameras aren't allowed inside, so we asked Otterbein to take some video for us. The federal government is sending more than 500 of these machines to Indiana long-term care facilities as part of its effort to stop the spread of COVID-19. These antigen machines are important because nursing homes can test residents and staff and get results in just 15 minutes. Nursing homes say while the machines are accurate in identifying positive cases, they're only about 60 to 80% accurate in identifying negatives.
False negatives are a concern.
Zach Cattell is president of the Indiana Healthcare Association, which represents nursing homes.
It's one extra piece of data. The machines are certainly better than having nothing at all. And, facilities, along with their nursing staffs and physician staff, can work through what the information means from the machine taken into context with any kind of signs and symptoms.
State health officials say they're aware the antigen tests from the feds are less sensitive than regular PCR tests, which detect the virus's genetic material.
If you have someone that's symptomatic or maybe someone that is a close contact and you get a negative result on your antigen test, then again, we ask that they follow up with a PCR test.
I think everybody's concerned when you have any kind of lab equipment or any kind of test that has a false negative.
Cattell says another challenge, the federal government only sent a small number of supplies to run the machines. So now nursing homes are trying to use their own vendors to get supplies.
Many of our members are hiring additional staff just to run this test regime because it is extraordinarily consuming, both from administration and reporting the data.
Indiana nursing homes are concerned about what they'll do when financial help from the federal government runs out. They're caring for people who are the most vulnerable to COVID-19. So in addition to testing, they're working to make sure nursing homes are set with PPE and good infection control procedures to hopefully prevent outbreaks and save lives.
Even with everything buttoned up as well as we possibly can, that's never a guarantee. And so our members will remain vigilant in this fight.
Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
An Indianapolis man is finally back home tonight after defeating COVID-19 and during extremely difficult conditions. He was on a ventilator for 115 days and in the hospital for 5 months. He was just released from a rehabilitation hospital this afternoon. WRTV's Megan Sanctorm was there and shares his story.
This is the moment they've all been waiting for. 67-year-old Surjit Singh beat his 5-month battle with COVID-19.
I am feeling very happy to go home.
He walked out today a healthy man, surrounded by caregivers, friends, and family. But these past 5 months have not been easy.
The virus took, the complete worst turn for him.
His son says Singh checked into the hospital back on April 16th with low oxygen levels. Since then, he's spent 115 days on a ventilator.
It's too long. It's really too long.
To see somebody that has been through what he's been through for as long as he was on the ventilator, all the treatments that he got, to see him have the ability to walk out of here, that is incredible.
Family admits they never thought COVID-19 would impact them in this way.
Well, I think at the beginning, we were one of those families that were like, oh, if we get it, we'll get sick and we'll get over it. But we learned the hard way.
Now they're just grateful to bring him home just in time for his 68th birthday this weekend.
My dad, he's definitely, we know he's a very giving person, a very humble person, and he likes to give back, and we know this wasn't the end for him, and we knew he's a fighter. Everybody always says his size mistakes you because he's a lion at heart.
Families saying they hope his journey encourages others battling COVID-19 to keep fighting.
There have been many times where we thought it was the end of the journey, but we kept pushing and kept fighting and looking for new resources.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
And the family plans to host a community parade for Sing this weekend. A huge spike in COVID-19 cases here in Indiana, but there is a bit of an explanation behind that. The Indiana State Department of Health confirms 1,499 additional cases of the coronavirus. The health department says one reason for the increase was a new onboarded lab and corrections to a lab reporting error. So far, 109,683 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with COVID-19. The state also reports 17 additional deaths. 3,270 people in Indiana have died with the coronavirus since the pandemic began. More than 1,281,000 Hoosiers have been tested for COVID-19. 8.6% of them tested positive for the virus. And if you are itching to get back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway after the pandemic kept fans out for the Brickyard 400 and Indianapolis 500, you will have the chance in about 2 weeks. The new IndyCar Harvest Grand Prix will take place on the IMS road course and part of the oval. And today, the Speedway announced that up to 10,000 fans will be allowed in the grandstands each day of racing. The Harvest GP is a doubleheader that runs October 2nd and October 3rd. Tickets are available now through IMS.com. Kyle.
We've got some more cool mornings to go through. A stretch of 40s coming our way, but there's also a warm-up in the 7-day planning forecast when those highs will reach 80 degrees once again. You're watching WRTV News at 6.
In a newly released statement, 2 former high school administrators say they were used as scapegoats by the Northwest Hendricks School Corporation. The school board fired Nathan and Stacy Begley this week. They worked as the athletic director and dean of students and are criminally charged with failure to make a report. The Begleys are accused of not reporting allegations of sexual misconduct involving a teacher and a student. In a newly released statement from their attorney, the Begleys say they are extremely disappointed by the board's decision to terminate them after serving the district for nearly 2 decades. Here is the statement, quote, "The superintendent, both current and former, decided to scapegoat Mr. and Mrs. Begley, who had been in their administrative positions for less than a year, and one other former administrator, while completely ignoring the fact that several other school officials, as well as 2 law enforcement agents with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Department, had the same information as the Begleys. Yet only the Begleys and one other administrator have been targeted for discipline, criminal charges, and license suspension," end quote. The Begleys say they look forward to having their names and reputations cleared at a full public trial. You can read their entire response in this story on our website, WRTV.com, and the WRTV app. And the Begleys have been placed on paid administrative leave twice in the last year. WRTV Investigates has been asking how much taxpayers paid the administrators during that time, and today we got an answer. We have learned the district paid the Begleys a combined $81,809 while they were on paid administrative leave from February 2020 to this month, as well as nearly $30,000 when they were on paid leave from July 2019 to September 2019. The total compensation for the Begleys while on leave, $111,667. In Democracy 2020, as the November election draws closer, we want to remind you of the important dates you need to know. Election Day is November 3rd, but experts say Don't be surprised if you don't know the results of the election for a week or longer. Voter registration ends on October 5th. Early voting begins October 6th. If you need to take part in absentee voting by mail, you should file an application for a ballot immediately. The deadline to turn your application in is October 22nd. Then when you get your absentee ballot, you must have it filled out and turned in to county election officials by noon on Election Day, which again is November 3rd. We have all of this information plus everything else you need to know to get ready for the general election, all in one location. Just go to WRTV.com/vote in 2020. I think we're voting for all yes when it comes to this weather.
Get 2 thumbs up. Yeah, we got more of this in the forecast too, but if it's a little too cool too quickly for you, we got some warmer temperatures coming back our way as well. Right now, enjoying all that sunshine, temperatures in the middle 60s, close to 70 still in Bloomington, and we still have a little bit of that north breeze around 15 miles per hour, but that will begin to subside tonight. Temperatures, they will continue to tumble down into the 30s, especially north of I-70, 39 Lafayette to Muncie, 43 in Indy. So again, northern areas could see a little bit of that patchy frost first thing in our Saturday, but then the sunshine will start to moderate those temperatures a little bit. We're still only going to be around 60 degrees at noon, and we'll get into the middle and upper 60s for that afternoon high. Wind will not be as breezy tomorrow, so that'll be a plus for us, only about 5 to 10 miles per hour as you get to a high close to 70 in Bloomington and Columbus. Once again, 67 for you in Danville and Muncie and Noblesville. Right around 66 degrees. Average high is 77, so we'll miss the mark just a little bit. And with another dry day, this deficit of rainfall continues to add up in the month of September. You can see around Indianapolis, Shelbyville, Bloomington, all around 1.75 inches below average for the month, and now over 2 inches below average in that rainfall department in the Terre Haute area. And it is going to be more of the same. Dry conditions, not a drop of rain is expected really right on as we go through next week. So things are going to remain very quiet. That sets us up for a very nice forecast, though, for Sunday and the Colts game. For the home opener there, we'll have chilly temperatures in the morning, again, sunshine, and during the afternoon, those highs will get around the 70-degree mark. But while everything is quiet here, the tropics remaining very active. Got 3 systems out there, and it's been so active lately that we have now moved into the Greek alphabet. We have Beta here in the Gulf of Mexico, which is expected to make landfall there in Texas as we get into Monday as a hurricane. If you're wondering what happened to Alpha, well, it made landfall in the Portugal area. All right, our 7-day planning forecast. There's a lot of sunshine coming our way here. High temperatures, lower 70s by Sunday afternoon, middle 70s there on Monday, and the warming trend, it continues as we go into the middle of next week. We'll have highs around 80 degrees, and we'll replace those morning lows in the 40s with the middle 50s, so you may not need the jacket as much as we go toward the middle of next week and beyond. Amanda?
Well, sounds like it'll be another very nice night outside for some high school football. This is the middle week of the regular season. Still a handful of great matchups around the area. Brad Brown is live on the field at one of those. Decatur Central High School is the site. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Amanda, it is indeed a nice night out here. A little breezy down here on the southwest side, but we're getting set to see Decatur Central take on Mooresville here tonight in week 5 of this 9-week regular season. These teams have managed to get through this first month, and we'll kind of see where it goes from here. Kyle Enright is the head coach of the Decatur Central Hawks, joins us live here on the news at 6. What has been your takeaway from your guys of this first month of the season? It has nothing to do with football, just trying to navigate all of this.
First of all, we're just happy to be here. Football brings a lot of people together, and we thought that was going to get taken away from our kids and our community, and so just the opportunity to be out here. To be honest, I didn't think we'd be out here playing at this point in the season, but our kids and administration has done a great job of keeping the kids safe, and our training staff. So we're going to keep it going, keep it rolling. We've got masks. We're social distancing and spreading out our locker rooms and doing everything we can just to make sure the kids are safe, but still have this opportunity for them.
You guys have won 3 straight after losing in week 1. What did you learn from that first game against Center Grove that's gotten your guys going in the right direction?
Well, we learned Center Grove is really good. Shocker there. Yeah. But yeah, like we said before the season, anytime, any place. We'll take on anybody, anywhere. Didn't turn out in our favor, but we learned a lot of things from that game, kind of some of our strengths and weaknesses, things we needed to work on. So, I think the last 3 weeks have proven we've gotten better, but we've got a great opponent tonight, and we've got to continue to take those steps and show that tonight.
Is this the kind of game tonight, kind of another benchmark for your team to really see where you're at this point?
Yeah, anytime you're playing the #1 team in 4A that's 8 miles down the road, and it's a rivalry, and Coach Gillen does a great job. So, our kids are ready to go. It's homecoming. We wish we had a little bigger crowd. We would definitely have 6,000 plus if it wasn't COVID season, but we'll take it, and our kids are ready to go.
Good, Kyle, good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Kyle Enright, the Decatur Central Hawks taking on Mooresville here tonight. He mentioned Center Grove, another of the big games that we'll see here tonight. Center Grove taking on North Central, #1 and #4 in Class 6A. Playing down on Johnson County's southwest side. Center Grove has looked good, but North Central's off to their best start in 22 years. We'll have a recap of that more coming up tonight on the news at 11. Quick note about the Colts. Home opener we talked a little bit about coming up on Sunday against the Vikings. Jack Doyle will be out. He's been dealing with an ankle and a knee injury. Really didn't get a chance to practice all week. So the Colts will have to shuffle their tight end rotation a bit for week #2. Expect Mo Alley Cox to get a few more touches in the offense if it heads in that direction. We'll have coverage of that one for you coming up on Sunday. And I'll tell you what, if you're going out, get out in it. It's a nice night. Otherwise, enjoy your Friday evening. We'll see you back here with some Week 5 highlights coming up on the news at 11. Time for another break. Amanda and Kyle will be back to wrap up our Friday edition of the news at 6 here on WRTV.
Be sure to join WRTV's Mark Mullins in the Indiana Black Expo for a free Zoom webinar on preparing for job interviews in the virtual environment. It's this Monday from noon until 2 p.m., presented by Cummins with tips from Hiring Hoosiers partner Spherion Staffing. You can then put what you learned to use at our next virtual Hiring Hoosiers Employment Opportunity Fair. It starts at noon Tuesday, September 22nd, and it's also free. Companies looking to hire include FedEx, First Merchants Bank, Indianapolis Airport Authority, Lowe's, and many more. For more info and to register, go to indianablackexpo.com.
Before we get back into another work week, we've got a beautiful weekend of weather here in central Indiana. Lots of sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Those temperatures starting to moderate a little bit as we get into Sunday afternoon. We are back in the lower 70s, and we'll continue to warm things up a little bit here as we go into next week. Highs return around 80 degrees as we continue with sunny skies.
Thanks for making WRTV your choice for news. Join us again for the news at 7. Have a great evening.